this video, we are going to talk about what every hobbyist should have if they deal with metal or they need something welded together to fix something, would be a Mig welder. It's a Mig welder that I've had for a lot of years, probably about 20 years now. It's done a lot of work in the car repair industry, which is what I do, part-time of course. And really, I think if you are a hobbyist and you do work with metal, you really need to invest in a Mig welder. If this is the case, this video is definitely for you. So why don't we get straight into it and we'll talk about my little welder that I've got down here. Very straightforward, cracking a little bit of kit, and they're not that expensive. So basically, we'll start with what a welder actually does, especially a Mig one. I would say a Mig welder is probably the easiest form of welding if you've never welded before, because you have oxyacetylene welding, you have brazing, you have TIG welding, which I've actually got a TIG set behind us, an R-Tech one, which I'll do a video on that in the near future. And all those other ones except MIG are quite tricky to learn if you've never ever done it before. I can do all them. I'm not a professional welder, I'm just a hobbyist, as completely as you can tell by my channel. But I just like to try and educate people if they're a hobbyist like me, or they're on the fence that, you know, I wouldn't mind buying a MIG, learn to welding. So this is basically a video for you. So we'll start straight at the beginning. This is a straightforward Sealy Top MIG 185. I believe I bought this, it's coming up 20 years, could be 15 years. I believe I paid £550, and you got a free helmet with it as well. I mean, that helmet's long gone, it's broken, but I got a free helmet with this one. So basically, how a MIG works is it wants to stick two metals together, basically. But it uses a wire feed, a wire reel. Mine's a 0.6 wire reel. Goes through the gun, hits the metal, creates an arc with the shielded gas, will protect the bonding of the metal from oxygen around in the atmosphere, which is catastrophic for molten metal. It just explodes and everything. Then it will make a nice weld, providing it's got that shield around it. So we'll go just show you a few bits of the welder, and then once we've getting through this little bit of the video, I'm going to set up a little bench and stick a few bits of metal together. So first of all, we've got the this is the main part of a MIG welder. This is obviously the part that it's got like a little trigger on, as you can see, little trigger. You just point the nozzle to the work, just press the trigger, and just go ahead and just weld the two bits of metal together. Pretty straightforward. My gun is a 0.6 gun. You do get a 0.8, and I do believe the big massive welders go to 0.12 millimeters. Big massive size of my finger type sort of wire feed that would be. That's pretty straightforward. You've got the earthen clamp. Got to have an earthen clamp because obviously all electro welding, you need some sort of earthen clamps because it uses electricity colliding together to cause generate massive heat so something can wear together. So you always need an earthen clamp. That's a very important thing coming to welding metal. The metal's got to be clean and the earth has to be connected in a really, really good place. Then we've got the gas. This is the gas that I was telling you about, which causes the shield around the hot metal, which protects it from the oxygen. Getting to the gas, there is certain mixtures you can go for. You have like it's a light additive of CO2 gas with argon. You can have an argon mix. I believe it comes in 5%, 10% and 12%. But to be fair, I just use full CO2. Probably not the right way, the right gas to use if you're going to be welding something together that's going to take a lot of stress, because you have to use the right gas to weld the right metals together if it's taking stress. For me, I just weld little table legs together and little brackets I might have broken off a bit of garden furniture, something like that. So I wouldn't be using that gas if I was, say, building a trailer, or I was going to weld something to a motocross bike that's fell off. It would have to be the proper gas. The next thing you need, obviously, is a welding mask, as you can see. These are about 150 quid, but these ones have the shield on, so they're automatic. You just put the helmet on, turn it on, and then as soon as the first arc hits the metal, boom, it's dark and you can see what you're doing. As soon as you stop, you can open your eyes and you can see how well the welding's took, or if you've missed, which I've done a million times. So that's what these masks are really for. Now, with welding, there is a lot of fumes come off. You do have radiation. That's why you need a proper jacket. You need proper pants for splatters, proper boots, that sort of stuff. You need all of that to protect you from when you're welding. Now, with welding, come to the fumes, this doesn't really protect much of the fumes. I will be using this one today because the one that I do have, which is an air-fed one, which is a lovely bit of kit, the battery's flat. So I wasn't going to recharge that just to show a couple of minutes of welding. But I will get that down for you to have a look at what this looks like. It's just behind us here. Right, so there we go. It's got its own lovely little home. I mean, look at this. How nice is that? It's a lovely bit of kit. Now that obviously goes on top of my massive head, and then this goes into a battery pack with a purifier, which is just in this box. I'll get this out of the box so you can show what I mean. There we go. So that fastens around your back. So that's on your back, clips together like so. And then we've got the helmet, and then this clicks into here, just like so. It just twists in. So there's the full unit in its entirety. Air fed, which means you don't get any bad impurities coming in, so you don't want to breathe all that nasty stuff, as far as I'm concerned. So that's, I mean, that alone was just over £500, which is a lot of money. But I bought it because I had a bit of spare cash. I thought I'd buy this because I want to start getting into my TIG welding in a big way. Eventually start making stuff, maybe oil catchers for sports cars, race cars. Who knows? It's all pie in the sky, but it's something that I fancy having a go at. So this is quite essential. So basically with the basics, this is a total basic video. Like I say, I'm not in any way a professional welder. It's a basic setup just for what I use, for minimal use. But I would like to show you how to set it up, how to stick two bits of metal together. So what we'll do is we'll pause this video and you'll be straight back in a couple of seconds when I've set everything up, a couple of bits of metal. We'll press record and I'll show you exactly how it can stick two bits of metal together. So I will see you in a split second. Bye for now. Right, welcome back. So I've got my little setup ready for you to watch me do a little bit of a welding. I've got a couple of bits of inch square tubing that I used when I built a table for a good friend of mine for his bamboo lab 3D printer, would you believe? I built a couple of these actually because they're quite sturdy, because if you've seen in my last video, the 3D printer does move about a bit. So anyway, cut long story short. So I've got a couple of bits of scrap metal here. These are about 1.5mm thick square tubing. Got a nice little seam just running down here, if you can see that. That's where I'm going to put the bead of weld. I'm going to do two welds for you. I'm going to do like a spot weld where I just press the trigger for a couple of seconds, let it go, move along, let it go, move along, let it go, if you know what I mean. And then you can see that that's a nice way to start learning to weld until you become better at it, and that means you can press the trigger and just carry on with a full weld, doing like swirl motions, which makes the pool push forward. But you'll see what I mean. The welding will be just as good as each other, but most welders, professionals, they will always press the trigger and then they can weld as long as you want for as long as they want, because they're so professional at it. Unlike me, of course, because I'm just a hobbyist. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to turn the machine on. So my settings for this, obviously you've got power settings and you've got wire feed. I think for this one, it's not a massively thick bit of metal. So personally, it doesn't need massive power. So on my system, it goes up to power 6. I think for this one, power 4 should be enough. And obviously when you are welding, if you think you're not getting enough penetration, then you would just dial up the power and dial up the wire feed a little bit more, which would make it more penetrating, and obviously would put more filler metal in there, which would make the job stronger. So I'll turn this on now. My Mig Welder does make a bit of a noise. It's the fan kicking in, because they're all got an internal cooling fan. I might have to fix this because it could be a little bit noisy. So I'll turn this on, put my gloves on, put my mask on. I should be able to still speak. You should be able to still hear us because I've got this microphone attached. But we'll cross that bridge when we'll come to it. So we're going to turn this on. My wire feed is set to 7, which I think is enough for this one. 6, 7. Actually, I think it might be a bit too much. I might go down to say 6. So I've got my power on 4, wire feed on 6. Need to always remember to turn the gas on. Gas is on. I've got my trigger here. Now, if you can see this bent bit of metal, I'll show you a little. I'll put a little picture on the screen possibly. What this is a little contraption that I made where my earth clamp is attached to this, but it's on a pivot. So I'll lift this up on a pivot, which means I don't have to attach the clamp directly to the job. So I can attach the earth clamp to this pivoted, weighted how's father. The metal is bare here, which means it gets a contact straight to the job that you're welding. So hopefully that should work. I haven't tested it, so if this doesn't work straight away, it'll be a cut and start again, but we'll try it. So got my gloves on. Now your helmet, you've got to turn your helmet on obviously. Give a little click. I just go about halfway. You've got a strap at the back for these, which is handy. Just tighten that strap up. Down we go. Now I can see this job no problem at all. So like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to do it with spot welding first. Right, that seemed to work quite well, I think. I'll turn this off because it's noisy. And then let's have a little look at the job in hand. So I've got my gloves on, which are nice and heat-proofed. But it's also attached to a magnet. So I can use this magnet just to pick it up with a bit of luck. Oh, how man. Right, there we go. Right, so this was just basic spot welding. Now I'm just looking at my phone again as usual because I see what's going on. Let's get into focus here. There we go. So as you can see, that's quite powerful. That's definitely not going to come apart in a million years. We've got quite good penetration on there and on here. Like I say, this is not a stressed weld because I'm using the wrong gas. This is just straightforward gas that you can use to build little tables with, which is what I'm doing now. So I've always got a caution to the wind to prove to you guys that, you know, there is some legalities and you've got to do the job properly, because the last thing you want to do is build something with my setup and the axle falls off a trailer you build or something. You don't want that happening. So that's the spot welding method. So we'll get back to the table. Put my little device back on there. I don't need the magnet anymore because obviously it's stuck together, so it's not going to go anywhere. Right, so once again, my helmet's on. All we're going to do is put the power to where it was, and we're going to try a free flow, like swirl motion, to see how that goes with the welding, and see what sort of penetration that does. So we're back to there. And here we go. Failed. See? We'll try that again, shall we? Now I'm going to leave that in. I'm leaving that in because this can happen. This is real life what can happen. The wire hit the metal, it lost its earth, and then it stopped dead. So all we're going to do is just snip this raggy edge off and then try again. Ah! We've got a problem. Right, I'm scratching the earth there and that. Scratching the little device, the earther, because I mustn't have a good earth. So let's have a go. There we go. Right. I'll turn this off again. Now, in all honesty, and there's a couple of mistakes here, and I can see straight away, I'll get this magnet so it doesn't burn my fingers off. Right. So if we look at that other weld, the very first one that I did, it's, you know, it's quite uniform, seems to be beaded nicely-ish. If I flip it over, this is the full power weld. Can you see what's happened to that? There's too much power. It's actually put a hole in the middle of the job. So straight away, the plan would be to now is if I was going to do another root, not a root weld, but let's call it the swirl weld, would be to dial that power down to probably 3. So it doesn't burn all the way through because it was only a thin bit of metal. But it still stuck it together, to be fair. It still did the job. Not massively pretty, but as a hobbyist, this is all I need. I'm not a professional welder, I never will be, but I do like welding. It's something as basic as that, and it's a really, really handy tool to have in the garage when you're a hobbyist like me. Oopsie-daisy. So basically that is this video coming to a close. I'll take my helmet off. My next video on my little chart would you believe is to do with the TIG welder. Which I'll do a little video on that as well. So what I want to do at the end of this video, which I haven't done yet, is just go through me board that I wrote on for what content I was going to create. Now in this, I was going to do another X-Tools F1 laser video because that's the video that I've had the most views on, and I suppose that's what I should do, but I want to stick to what my niche is at the minute, which is hobbies, and I want to go through all of my hobbies first, and then we'll probably revisit all of the ones that's getting the most views. That's the way that I'm going to do it anyway. So I get this little board across here. So I think you can see that. We can, yes. So at the top we had vision board, first video, completed that. X-Tools F1, completed that. X-Tools, it's not called an RA2, it's called a D1, I think. I don't know. We've done that. Bamboo Lab 3D printer, that was last week. And then today, Mig Welding, which is the one that I've done today. And these are the other ones that I'm going to go through. So I've got quite a lot of content to go through for the next 6 months, because I'm just going to try and do one per week on this channel. So with the MIG welding completed, the next one will be TIG welding. So this time next week I'll be recording the TIG welding episode, which is just behind me here. That's a much superior machine. It's a gorgeous thing, and I can discuss that when I do the video for next week. So I'll put this down, and basically that is the finish for this week. As per usual, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. On the closeout screen there will be one of my previous videos that you can have a look at, and there will be a little round circle with my workshop picture on, where you can scroll across and subscribe, which would be very interesting. And if you have any comments at all, please, I would love to hear any comments, whether you like these videos, whether you think I'm useless. I'm not bothered. I need to get some comments in so I can discuss things with you. Any pointers you might have, what you might want to see, what's next. Are you interested in this, interested in that? Basically, in the comments, fire away any question and I'll answer as many as I possibly can. So, once again, my name is Aidan. Thank you for watching Feathers and Hobbies, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.